Okay, Khalil, we're really going to talk about marriage as covenant and what sacrificial love looks like daily in marriage. So tell us a little bit about that.
Yes, marriage it's more than just a legal transaction, right? It's more than two people coming together, deciding to live happily ever after together.
Yeah.
Like it's much more than that. Marriage is a covenant, and I think when we don't understand that marriage is a covenant, then we can misuse something. You can misuse anything when you don't fully understand what it is. And so it's truly a covenant in which we come together and allow the Lord to unify us, and we commit to walking together in purpose as one.
I think so many people look at marriage itself as that fairy tale, and they see the wedding day and it's glorified as to being like the ultimate experience for any person in their life, as this milestone to achieve, instead of realizing that there is an other side of the coin. Covenant is a promise, right? It's a commitment, it's a promise to that other person. And that's why the vows are even said on the wedding day, right? So often we, a lot of people just say them and don't really think about what they're committing to say, because it's become so traditional.
Right.
Instead of reflecting on every single word that's coming out of our mouth as we're standing together united, committing in front of our family and friends that we are in this for the long haul together.
Right, exactly. Because when you think about that vow exchange during the wedding or during the ceremony, right? One of the main things that we both say is what I do, right?
Yes.
But instead of thinking it as just saying I do, we're basically saying that it's no longer about me.
And that sacrifice can feel so uneasy. It can feel like you're taking a piece of yourself unless you're able to receive the need for humility, to really value thinking of yourself less, so that you can show that you value the other person more.
Right. One thing that I think of is the verse that says, there is no greater love than to lay down one's life for their friends. What Jesus is saying in that verse is that love is about sacrifice. And obviously he displayed love in the greatest way by doing that for us. He laid down his life. And so what he's basically telling us is that, we should love each other the same, and especially in marriage, there are many ways in which we can lay down and sacrifice for one another. It could be through the giving of our time to one another, the giving of our attention, the giving of our services, the giving of encouragement and support, or even something as simple as the giving of a listening ear.
Yeah, and this is really the culmination of all the videos we've shared so far, overcoming expectations, really talking about not allowing those molehills to amplify into big mountains, to embrace the joy and experiences, and also to make sure that we're not causing rifts by our tone and our relationships. So when we take all those things we've discussed and dive a little deeper, we have to remember this foundational point that it is a covenant between man and wife, because I think so often we try to basically operate in silos in marriage with our own agendas while still having the feather on our hat that we're together, right? It becomes a superficial show, if you will, instead of a continual dying to oneself to support one another.
That's so good. And I think the practical action points in this discussion in terms of how we can live more sacrificially towards one another, I believe are two very simple things. Number one is asking yourself, what can I give up?
Oh, yeah.
What can I give up today? And I think this is an everyday question that we can ask ourselves. So I think the first one is self-reflective. Second is asking the other person, how can I help? Just something that's so basic, it doesn't take much.
So in asking that self-reflective question, what can I give up? there's a lot of things that I think we take for granted during the day that we could easily give up to spend more time in supporting and helping our significant other. It could simply be cutting off that TV show 10 minutes before the end so that you can help your partner clean up the dishes
Sports
at
Center.
the end of the day.
Sports Center.
Or it could be, you know, simply taking that time in the mornings to make sure that you help pack lunches for the kids before they head out, instead of assuming that that job's always done by the partner.
Right. We never want to be at a place where either of us feels like we are doing something or going through something on our own. We are meant to, you know, support one another and bear one another's burdens together.
Right.
To tie it all together, love is truly about sacrifice.
Yeah.
And marriage is designed to be a display of that sacrificial love between one another. And so I think the more we can keep that principle in the forefront of our minds, realizing that true love is about sacrifice, then the more we can accomplish together and the better we can be together.
Yeah. Hey guys, so this concludes part 4 of our Marriage Foundation series, and we are so grateful to you all for being with us every step of the way. We hope you've been able to take away a few nuggets of wisdom that you can use in your households as you continue to grow together. And we also want to hear from you. Let us know in the comments any feedback you have or other topics you'd love for us to discuss.
Yes, and we also want you to know that you don't have to go through life and through marriage and through family alone. We encourage you to find some people that you can gather with, some people that you can run with, to exchange with, to edify, and to have these types of conversations with, because when we can come together and edify one another, then we can truly grow and continue to endure through all of the obstacles that are ahead. And we also want you to know that there's truly no foundation like the grace of God Himself. His grace truly is sufficient for you and for your marriage and for your family through any part of life's journey.